Bill O'Reilly here, Wednesday, October 26, 2022. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. A record number of voters fear for the future. President Biden pushes another COVID booster. Businesses sever ties with Kanye West. Exterminators rank the most rat-infested cities in the USA. Also ahead, what about that new COVID shot? Is it necessary? But first, a poll from Gallup finds just 42% of adults think today's youth will have a better living standard than their parents. That's down a whopping 18 points in the last 2 years. According to the survey, the biggest obstacles facing the next generation include economic hardship, pandemics, war, threats to democracy. Just 18% of the public think the USA is now moving in the right direction. President Biden asking Americans to get another COVID booster before the holiday season, said the president, quote, "Please get the latest vaccination. Not enough people are getting it. COVID is going to spread again this winter," unquote. The CDC now recommends full vaccination for kids as young as 6 months old. The agency also urging boosters every 6 months for Americans over the age of 5. I'll have a commentary on this coming up shortly. Businesses severing ties with Kanye West. The rapper was banned on social media after a string of anti-Semitic posts. Wrote Mr. West on October 12th, quote, "I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people," unquote. He has also parroted conspiracy theories involving Jewish Americans. Vogue magazine, Universal Music, Adidas, The Gap, and other fashion brands have dropped West, as have his agents. A report from Orkin Extermination ranks the most rat-infested cities in America. They are San Francisco, D.C., Los Angeles, New York City, and the rat capital, Chicago. Rodent sightings in the Windy City are up 70% in the last 3 years. Officials blame the boom on outdoor dining during COVID. Interesting. In a moment, should I, your humble correspondent, get the COVID booster? Right back with that. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates are skyrocketing, as you know. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, predicting recession. So to protect your future, do what I did. Call the only precious metal dealers I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. You can get started with a short phone call. They will place physical gold and silver right at your door or inside your IRA or 401k. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Don't wait. You can call them now. 877-444-GOLD. 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day, another COVID booster vaccination. President Biden received his 5th COVID injection Tuesday. He was fully vaccinated in early 2021 and has now taken 3 boosters. However, the president, as you may know, tested positive for COVID on July 21st of this year. He then tested positive again 10 days later. His wife Jill contracted the contagion on August 16th. She was fully boosted as well. Again, she tested positive 8 days later. Now, the CDC recommends a booster shot every 6 months for Americans over the age of 5, as I reported. To date, the U.S. government has spent $4.6 trillion with a T dollars on the pandemic. That includes business loans, direct payments, vaccine programs, emergency services for hospitals. The $4.6 trillion is more than the entire federal budget in 2019. So, I have been vaxxed 4 times. I am lucky I have not contracted COVID. Now, I am delaying the 5th booster because I don't know what exactly it's supposed to do. Will it prevent COVID? Will it mitigate the effects if I get it? How about some federal data? Sorry, Mr. Biden's word is not enough, but it's not. What is the benefit of the 3rd booster shot? Specifically, until the CDC, not exactly trustworthy these days, thank you, Anthony Fauci, explains the 5th booster, why would anyone get it? That is a logical question. If we are going to pump this vax into our bodies, we need to see what the cause and effect is. And Americans know that. There is no rush to get the 3rd booster shot. Now, I think it's correct that COVID will rise in the winter. It's already doing that in Europe, so it's bound to come over here. But from what I can ascertain, it is a much more mild illness than the original COVID. But I could be wrong. So I always depend on my personal doctor, who is a good woman who looks out for me, and everybody needs a good personal physician. But even she has trouble explaining to me why I should get the 3rd booster. I will get a flu shot. I get one every year. And I understand that's the cycle. If you get a flu shot once a year, even if you contract the flu, it's not going to be that bad. Is it the same thing for COVID? Is it going to be every 6 months, ad infinitum? Those questions need to be answered. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. If you'd like more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. In a moment, something you might not know. Heating bills expected to skyrocket this winter. Everybody's looking to save money. Now you can with the Eden Pure Gen 40 heater. My Gen 40 heater warms the house in the morning, heating up my home instantly. Jeanette H. says, quote, "My Gen 40 is awesome. It's light, quiet, and powerful. The safety button on the bottom, very reassuring. The options for temperature and runtime are a plus. Simply the best heater ever." This from Jeanette. Gen 40 heater owners are reporting huge savings on heating bills. In fact, Eden Pure is having a hard time keeping them in stock due to demand. Get $50 off the sale price using code BILL50. Warm up your office, kitchen, or den this fall with the Gen 40 heater. You will be glad you did. Go to EdenPure.com and use code BILL50 to get $50 off. EdenPure.com. Use code BILL50 for a $50 savings. Shipping is free. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 141 years ago today, 2 groups of gunmen squared off in a dusty town on the American frontier. The shootout involved the Earp brothers and a crew called the Outlaw Cowboy Gang. Here is the story behind the gunfight at OK Corral. After the discovery of silver in southern Arizona, the town of Tombstone grew into one of the busiest and most dangerous cities in the Southwest. Wyatt Earp, a former lawman from Kansas, and his brothers Morgan and Virgil patrolled the streets of Tombstone as marshals. The Clanton and McLaury brothers were bandits who lived on a ranch outside of town. In the fall of 1881, the outlaws rode into Tombstone for supplies, booze, and a little gambling. On the morning of October 26th, the gang had multiple run-ins with the Earps and their friend Doc Holliday. Around 3 p.m., the outfit was found drunk in an abandoned lot behind the old Kinsersley horse stable, known locally as the OK Corral. The gunfight lasted less than 30 seconds, but at least 30 shots were fired in that time. It's still up for debate who started the melee. Some historians believe the shootout began when Virgil Earp pulled out his revolver and shot Billy Clanton in the chest. When the smoke cleared, 3 outlaws were dead. Virgil, Morgan, and Doc Holliday were wounded. Wyatt Earp was unharmed. The feud between the two outfits did not end there. The surviving cowboys assassinated Morgan Earp 6 months later. And here's something else you might not know. After the scuffle in Tombstone, the local sheriff charged Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday with murder. 1 month later, an Arizona judge found the men not guilty, ruling that they were, quote, fully justified in committing these homicides at the OK Corral, unquote. Back after this. Bill O'Reilly here. Vidgo, V-I-D-G-O, is a new streaming service that gives you live sports and programming you want at a price you can afford. With Vidgo, I get live sports networks, including ESPN and Fox Sports, along with incredible access to college football games, with 80% of every televised college football game in the first 3 weeks of September. 80%. Vidgo also has a great choice of news and entertainment program, including The First, Fox News, Newsmax, and more. On my new weekly program called Shock and Awe, exclusively on Vidgo, I'll break down the most important issues of the week, asking bold and fresh questions and sitting down for exclusive interviews with America's top news makers. For a limited time, when you sign up for Vidgo, you can also get a copy of my new book, Killing the Legends, free, and get $15 off Vidgo's premium service. So please go to Vidgo, vidgo.com/BillBook. Sign up now. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.